I've already talked about this when it comes to store mounts and MMOs, particularly subscription-based MMOs. I do not agree. I'd not agree with most store content in a subscription-based MMO. Period. I'm against it. Like, I play 14. I love 14. I think it's a great game. I don't like the store. But then again, I used to play World of Warcraft and think it was a great game, and I also didn't like the store either. I don't like stores in subscription-based MMOs. If your MMO is buy to play, or if your MMO is free to play, that's a different thing altogether. But if your MMO is a sub-based MMO, I disagree with store mounts unless those mounts are also available in-game. Like, if you can get those mounts in-game, like 14 rides this line where, like, they will sell you stuff that was previously in the game. And I guess I'm kind of okay with that. I'm not super against it. Like, as this stuff was in the game, like, they sell you, I think, they're selling you the stuff from last year's Moonfire Fair or whatever it's called, right? The summer event. And I was like, you know what? I don't think that's such a big deal because that was in game before. I'm like, okay, you know, there's a little bit of a wiggle room there to accommodate that type of stuff. But putting something in the store that you cannot get in the game, personally, I don't like it. I don't like it. I've never have. I've never will. It's just something that I don't agree with because to me, the cost for running the servers and all of this other stuff and the profit and all of that, that comes from the subscription fee. That's the reason you pay a subscription fee to play an MMO, is so that all of the content is added into the game. And you're paying and you're supporting so that they add this content into the game, right? That's the way that I think about that stuff, which is why I haven't really read too deeply into this new mount, but my understanding is that it's just flat out a new mount that is not in the game. This mount is from a boss, which is one of the bosses of the Alexander raid, and it costs 30 bones. But let's see.
We've listened to you.
So you're okay with New World that's buy to play MMO and has a store, Ruri? Yes, I'm okay. I'm just not okay with some of the things that they're planning on selling on that store, such as the convenience of fast travel, which they said they're going to do, or they're planning on potentially doing, which to me seems like they're planning on selling you, what's the name of the resource? Azoth or whatever the hell it was. I'm not okay with that, and I'm also not okay with selling rested XP because I don't think that makes any sense. The whole concept of rested XP is for people that don't have enough time to play. So if you can just buy it off the store, I think that's fucking stupid. It's like I'm fine with whatever New World having a store. I'm not fine with the things that they want to sell on that store. It's not locked fast travel because in the beta you got a lot of the resource to do the fast travel. But, you know, I don't like the idea of them selling fast travel, period. I just don't like it.
And I find it kind of funny, okay? I really do. I find it kind of funny and I find it kind of sad that there are people now in the Final Fantasy.
And I find it kind of funny, find it kind of sad. The moments when... What was the moments when I'm dying are the best I've ever had. Na, 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 na. It's a mad world.
Fantasy community because a new mount was added to the Final Fantasy store and a lot of people were not happy about this. They were mad, very, very mad. And it was a mad Final Fantasy world. Let me go over here and see if I can find it, okay? And the thing, what's funny to me about this is it's one of those cases where all of these people that are these like huge Final Fantasy fans, etc., it's finally your opportunity to be like, see, how's it feel now? Yeah, how's it feel now, huh? Yeah, you don't like it, do you? That's what we've been having to deal with for years. And so anyway, Wales will buy anything? Oh yeah, sure, it's the same thing with WoW. I mean, the thing is with WoW is that you have these people, right? And you know, you know what they are. And these are the individuals. They're not like Rich, because Rich can afford it, okay? So it's fine. But these are the individuals that work a customer support job at the AT&T call center, and they make $16 an hour, or they make, probably more realistically, I did an application there, they make probably $12 an hour, okay? And these are the same people that do this. And whenever they come home and they have, you know, every single what are those things called? Funko Pops. They have an entire wall of Funko Pops. Their favorite animal in Star Wars is those little porg things, and they have you know, 5
Screw
different
the porgs,
plushies of them
dude.
as well.
I hated porgs
with their girlfriend or boyfriend that does the exact same shit that they do. And the moment that any sort of commercial enterprise gives them the opportunity to spend more of their hard-earned money, their eyes pop out of their fucking head like they're a pug that's 5 seconds from a heart attack. And these people go fucking ballistic. They love it. And they're like, and you see them in the comments. They're like, consume. Yes, they're consuming. And you'll see them and they're like, I don't really have the money for this, but hopefully Uncle Joe's gonna send me another stimmy. I'm gonna buy it anyway. I have to do it. I have to buy it. And you see them and like their characters are their profile pictures and everything like that. That's what they do. And I've seen so many people like this. I really have. And it's really sad to see, to be honest. But that's the target audience for stuff like this. You have to understand. It's not for you and me. These are for the fans that will just buy anything, right? And it's funny for me to read the exact same comments on this thing here that I have to read in every single one of the WoW things, because it's the same exact thing. Yeah, listen, all I'm saying is that random people are upset because it's a raid boss mount in a shop. The shop usually has random mounts. So why are people mad about this then? So it's a raid boss mount, is that right? Why would that matter if it was a raid boss mount? Is it a mount of a raid boss, or is it a mount that would drop from a raid boss that's now also being available in the store? It's a mount of a raid boss. Okay, it's a mount of a raid boss, and people are pissed off because now it's on the store instead of actually being a reward. So I'll read out some of the comments here, and we'll look at what people have to say, all right? Instead of it adding unique mounts to the cash shop, why not add them as in-game achievements instead? Because they add a lot of in-game unique mounts and cash shop item money goes back into the game. So yeah, here's the reality. Is like, yes, while cash shop money does go back into the game would not die if it did not have cash shop money. I think this is the same thing with WoW, or same thing with
There's
a
a
lot of these other games.
subscription.
It's a matter of like, how much money are you going to make? And the reality is, like, whenever you're a company, they're only going to invest so much money into that kind of stuff. Ultimately, among other things, is what led WoW to its decline. If you defend a practice by saying it's for the sake of the game, don't forget that you pay for the game, the expansion, and a monthly fee to play it. There's no excuse for a cash shop on top of that. They put unique mounts on the Mog Station purchase for a few years. This isn't a new thing. They put unique mounts, glams, and housing items on Mog Station for those who think it's worth it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. While refugees just chill for a second, the big difference is, unlike Blizzard, they don't just pocket the money but reinvest it into the game with server upgrades and extensions, etc. So this is kind of, this is the truth, right? Is that WoW players were okay with store mounts. Whenever I first thought that store mounts were a bad thing, I got a huge amount of pushback on it. I got so many fucking people that got mad at me and were pissed off at me for what I was saying about store mounts. They're like, oh, who cares? It's just a mount. Why does it matter?
It's interesting because the same thing happened to me. I basically told people in my guild, the first time that I saw that mount, I was like, this is terrible. This is atrocious. This is why we pay a sub fee. And a lot of people were actually, it's fine. If you don't like it, don't buy it. A lot of people actually had that attitude. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And that... Oh, man. I don't like this at all. Oh, no. Oh, no.
To you, you're just a loser who can't afford it. And this was like back in 2009, 2010, 2011, right? Whenever the first mounts came out. Because at that time, the game was still in a good place. That time, the game was still decent. And I think that really whenever people got pissed off about store mounts, it's whenever the game started to suck. Because you can get fucked in the ass, but at least use lube. And that's what...
No. You can get fucked in the ass, but if at least they're giving you a reach around, you still feel good about it. At least a little bit.
I'll bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
Was. And they were... And the game used to be really good. The game was awesome. And because it was so good, because the game was so enjoyable, people were able to look past all of that garbage. They didn't really care about, oh, well, you know, like it's another Storm Mount. Yeah, that's fine, but we're getting a bunch of other content in the game. The game's fun to play. I'm playing the game all day with my friends. It's whatever. So this is the way that the Final Fantasy community feels about it now. And I think that the more time that, like, if there's ever a point in Final Fantasy where the content stops coming out as quickly as maybe these people would want it to, that's whenever you're really going to start seeing that frustration come out, in my opinion, right? You accuse Blizzard of managed decline, though. I mean, accuse is kind of a hard word, but yeah, I would say so. I think that, you know, if you look at the definition of managed decline, and you look at the way that WoW's been handled, I would say that, yeah, it seems like it's in a managed decline. Yeah, that I would pretty much say that, absolutely. Fuck off with your cash shop, Blizzard. You make all the cool mounts paid mounts on purpose. We already paid for the mount in our sub. Wow, only $30, Mom? Can I please buy your credit card? Listen, here's the truth. And yeah, this has 470 comments. It's like it's a Destiny thread or something. Well, look at this. So, I think that it's easier to tolerate cash shops whenever the game's not a steamy pile of shit. That's true. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying too. True and real. I'd say also take store mounts and cosmetics all day over a WoW token. I think that's very true and also real. Yeah, I mean, store mounts suck. They suck in every
WoW
game.
token.
Nobody wants them. I think that it's just a unfortunate reality of gaming, but I think that one thing that takes the sting off is if the game is actually fun to play, which is why people are so mad about the ones in WoW. So that's what it comes down to. But yeah, they suck in Final Fantasy too. Can you spot the difference? Damn, Pyromancer fucking... Yo, he cleaned his shit up. God damn. Now, here's one thing I've got to say. I'm not doing this. I'm not changing up all my stuff. I have had so many great memories. I have had so many good times in World of Warcraft.
But that's because Asmongold doesn't care as much about the story, and he cares more about, like, the actual gameplay of the game and the memories that he has of the game. Whereas it seems to me that Pyromancer was much more focused on the story, and he just had enough because the story of World of Warcraft has been shit, and I mean complete and utter dog shit, for a good long while. For a good long while, baby.
And there is not a chance that I'm going to let anybody take that away from me. I love World of Warcraft. I'm excited to play it again. I want to go back and do Chains of Domination. I think it'll be very enjoyable for me. However, there are other things that I want to do right now that I'm just focusing on instead. I don't want to feel like I have to do anything. I think that the biggest focus and the biggest thing with WoW, and this is something that I felt many times, is that the game forces people to do things. It makes people think, I have to do X. I have to do Y. I need to do this. I need to do that. And because of that, I think that it creates this really toxic relationship that, like, the player has with the game. And in the process of creating that toxic relationship, it does it, let me see, 9.1 is worse than garbage? I don't know about that. Yeah, it's like FOMO. Basically, like, WoW has so much FOMO that's in the game now. But yeah, either way, all I'm really trying to say here is that I have no intention of getting rid of all of my WoW stuff. I look forward to playing WoW again. I love WoW. I'll always love WoW. And even if WoW turns to shit, they cannot take the good memories and good experiences that I have away from me, no matter how hard they fucking try. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, ultimately, I don't agree with the store mount. And, you know, but like I said, I've never agreed with the concept of store mounts to begin with on any sub-fee MMO. Like if it's a buy to play, if it's a free to play, different rules. I still don't like it but I'll be like, hey man, they got to pay the bill somehow. But from the moment that you have a subscription fee, I completely disagree. And I've said this every single time. That I'm not a fan of any of the cash shops, whether it is WoWs, whether it is Final Fantasy XIV, because just because I like Final Fantasy XIV and I love playing Final Fantasy XIV, it doesn't mean that it is exempt from criticism. Like I said, I also don't agree with the fact that if you pre-order Endwalker, you get a 3-day head start. I don't agree with it. I do not agree with it. It's just something that the moment that you are paying a subscription fee, I think that everything should be accessible to me in the game. Every single thing should be accessible to me in the game. And this includes cosmetics. Just cosmetics probably don't bother me as much. I mean, at the end of the day, what is a mount? A mount is a huge cosmetic, but mounts bother me. Okay, mounts do bother me more than cosmetics, I guess. Yeah, whatever. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Store mounts and Fantasias. Fantasia, I think, is all right. Because, you know, remaking your entire character, I'm like, yeah, I guess I get it. And so it's whatever, but I still feel like I should, because here's the thing, right? If you want to make a new character, and if you want to get the effects of Fantasia by just playing the game, you can. You can essentially get the effects of Fantasia by just playing the game. How? Make a new character, level it up, do the MSQ, do whatever things you've done on your main character, boom. You have a Fantasia that you can get in the game. That's why Fantasia doesn't bother me as much. But, you know, stuff like cosmetics and store mounts and all of that stuff, I still think if I'm paying a sub fee, all of that should be available to me in-game in some form. Maybe it's a hard way to get it. Like maybe I have to do that boss and like Omega, Extreme, Savage, minimum item level, no echo, whatever. But is it accessible in-game? Good. Whatever. Make it like super hard, whatever. That's fine. That's the way that I feel about it anyway.